Hello and welcome to my channel. I go by the name of Zizi Po, and today really I just wanted to have a sit down and just get to know each other. I think when I started this channel, really I got straight to the point. Like I didn't I didn't even take time to actually introduce myself and just let my audience know what I'm about. So today really is that day where we actually get to know each other officially. I'm so excited. I'm super, super, super excited because I don't know how many videos do I have on my channel already. There's quite a lot of videos. I think I'm over 100 videos now, and this is 100 and something video, and I've never actually sat down and introduced myself properly. So I do apologize for that. I'm a person that doesn't actually want to sometimes to disturb my creative process. I work in a manner that, if my spirit says I must do this, I do it. And without planning, without actually, doing a lot of stuff. So maybe I may come across as antisocial in other circles, but really, guys, I'm not antisocial per se, but I follow my spirit and I follow the flow of my creative flow. Let me put it that way. So yeah, that's how we got here and didn't even, know each other properly. So yeah, as I said, Ndinguzizi Po, and I am a woman from the Eastern Cape. I was born and bred in the Eastern Cape, born in a town called in a township called Dantsane in East London. That's where I was born, and then later grew up in a small town called Aidutjwa. That's where I spent most of my childhood years, and yeah, that's actually the place that molded me and groomed me into the person that I am today. And yeah, I'm a creative. I think I forget to say that a lot amongst other things that I do, but I'm a creative first and a journalist by profession. I studied in the best school of journalism in South Africa, called the Rhodes University. That's where I obtained my Bachelor of Journalism degree, with honors. So yeah, I think I always knew that I was going to be pursuing this field of work. I maybe might have not known what exactly, but I always knew that, writing was my thing. I always knew that the stage, was mine. It belonged to me. As a little girl, I grew up always being in the spotlight in the manner that I was always expressive of my creativity, whether singing, whether dancing, and whether in poetry. So yeah, I've always been expressive that way. I was very fortunate to have known the kind of direction I was taking from a very young age, and even growing up, I knew what I liked to do. Therefore, picking journalism to be my main career really was not a problem for me, because I always knew that I wanted to work in the space of media, whether being a media personality. It hasn't always been Zotini. I haven't been always confident enough to be in front of the camera, if I may call it that way. I think it was also because I loved being behind the scenes. I loved producing. I loved filmmaking. I loved photography. So in those spaces, those kind of like groomed me to be behind the scenes in a way. Like I wasn't always keen on exploring the possibility of me being in front of you. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. But yeah, I also felt like I was more free and more creative behind the scenes, when I shoot something and edit. And, I fell in love with the filmmaking process more than, being in front of the camera. So that's why I was kind of camera shy at some point, because I was comfortable in being behind the scenes. But yeah, plot twist, because I'm in front of you guys now. But it took a lot of work for me to get to this point, because I don't know if I was camera shy, man. I don't know how else to put it. And it just felt like this is too much. There's lights, there's this, and there's makeup on. It just felt like, no, it's stardom in the making, and maybe I wasn't ready for that. But yeah, fast forward to where we are now. I then got my qualifications and then moved straight to being a field journalist. And I worked as a journalist for like a period of 3 years or so. And during that time, I was in a newsroom, and it was busy, hectic, very challenging, very fast-paced. Everything was happening like, in a blink of an eye. And I liked that, but the environment I was working in, I believe didn't, it didn't help me or allow me to express myself fully creatively. There were really, really, really good stories that were canned, and stories that I thought, the world needed to hear. So through my frustration of not being able to creatively express myself as a journalist, as a creative, I decided no, it had to be the end of the road for me in that space, and I pursued other things, right? But I knew, Guti, I will forever be a journalist. Like, there was no running away from that. Like, this is my life. Like, after being a journalist for that many years, I moved to corporate South Africa. That's where I became a communications officer. Now, this was a very different field altogether, The corporate world is is so different from the world of media, and I loved it. I loved the fact that it challenged me. And yeah, I enjoyed that, still enjoying it. I'm still in corporate. But due to my love for being a journalist, due to my love for being in the media space, due to my love for being a journalist and my love for being in the media space, and I felt like that's my passion more, right? And knowing that that's my passion more, I created a platform where I was going to be able to express that side of me, And in this platform, I didn't really think I didn't think much about it at first, because I thought, okay, since now you're moving away from writing stories, breaking news and interviewing people, and just, writing about very incredible subjects, and interesting people, I kind of had that yearning in me, Uguti, no man, there's more, Zizipho, there's more you can do. Don't let being in this corporate space kind of limit you, and also don't let it kind of also define who you are. because I also understood that I still have a lot to learn, and I allowed myself to learn more. And during that process as well, I didn't want my passions to die. I didn't want, you know, the skill that I paid monies to get to kind of like get lost in the process of me transitioning, or in the process of me changing careers. I started a blog, an online blog. And in this blog, really, I was just sharing recipes, food recipes. I was sharing, fashion. I was writing about fashion, lifestyle, and yeah, basically. And then during that process, when I started it, I didn't think much of it also. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be as big, because for me, I was just feeding that void in me that, you're not in your space anymore. The space that you're very confident in, that you excel, very passionate about being in the media space. I'm no longer in that space anymore. So I wanted to feed that gap that, I kept on blogging, and I moved it to be a more serious stuff now. It was no longer just a blog. I wanted it to be a news publication. So how was I going to do that? I just added some more categories: news, business, a lot of, because I was writing a lot about lifestyle, entertainment, and fashion. I was in food and drink space, so I added other categories because I was like, I'm a pretty dope writer. I know how to write, and I know that very well. So why don't I, add more categories, and let's do this. Let's see what works out, and and indeed it works. It worked out. Like, there was like news where I could do follow-ups, contact people for interviews. People would like want to be part of it, and I was like, actually, this is something as serious, most like we are being for real here. We're not playing anymore. And yeah, I was like, there it is, a media company. It's just there online, guys. If you want to check it out, it's www.laladyhouse.co.za. Now, a lot of people were like asking me, is this like a lady's website? And to some people I explain, to some I don't, because I'm like, it's a long story. But the whole media house, it's LL Media. So it's a media house, and the URL is just La Lady House. Yeah, I feel like I'm yapping. I feel like I'm yapping. But anyways, that's just me, really. I then have this media publication, right? And mind you, I have a 9 to 5, which is a corporate job. And then I have to like take care of this baby, which is this, this business of mine. And it's been a rough ride trying to keep everything together. But it's been a fun one. I'm enjoying it because, when corporate gives me stress, when corporate gives me, sleepless nights, this baby, like the lady house, is like my refuge, if I may put it that way. It's where I get comfort. It's where I enjoy every minute of it, because it's so fulfilling, because it's like I know I'm following my passion. And there's this saying that says, if you follow your passion, you will never work a day in your life. And indeed, like when I'm handling my media business stuff, I'm so happy, man. Like I'm in my zone, I'm in my field, and it doesn't feel like work, you know? So yeah, that's me. So how would I define all that? Maybe call me a media entrepreneur. That's what I am. Yeah, a media entrepreneur. Yes, exactly. Anyways, yeah. Um so I run this baby like nobody's business, and it's been getting clients because I've got like it's not just a media publication, I've got like a work with us side of things where I offer web design services, I offer photography, I offer videography, I offer digital marketing services, and yeah, that's the field that I'm in. So if you know that you're a in fact, a lot of my clients are small businesses, and we've taken them from a space where they didn't have other businesses, they didn't have social media at all, or other businesses had social media but not active, and they didn't get clients via social media. So we kind of have like a 360 with our clients where we offer, to do your digital marketing for you, and then your website, and then we link all that to SEO, and then you just skyrocket as a business. Trust me, I'm not even joking. A lot of our clients, like some of them came back to get like a full package on our services because, once you work with us, we make sure that your business is visible. We make sure that you get clients, and that's important for businesses. Like, what's the point of running a business if no one is buying from you? No one is even inquiring about your services. So that's a mistake that we make sometimes as small businesses. That okay, you've got this business running. Some think that they don't need social media. Some think they don't need websites. It's a mess, but our people are still new in these tools, and we're trying our best to work with everyone, to create like tailor-made solutions just for you and your business. And most importantly, we help your business to strive. We lead you, we give you leads to people that are your potential buyers, of your services. And we do this via the internet, and there's nowhere else but for you to there's the digital space is broad, and it's for everyone, So really, as a small business, you don't want to be left behind. As a small business, you don't want to be in a space where you even thinking of quitting because you are asking yourself, what's the point? I'm not getting any customers. I'm not getting any traffic. Like, no one knows me as a business, So yeah, we solve those issues. And today I am in our newly renovated studios, our newly launched studios. Like, I wanted to take this to the next level, man. I know that the digital economy is worth billions of dollars. Like, it's worth billions of dollars, and there's money to be made online. There's money to be made in these social media platforms that we use. There's money to be made in the in the video platforms such as YouTube, there's money to be made there. So I was like, how about I create a space where people can just come and shoot their content, pay a little fee to use our studios. You can shoot podcasts, you can shoot content, like it's a ready-made studio just for content creators. But basically, I want a creative hub for the youth. I I do feel that the impact of unemployment in our country is disastrous, to be honest. In order for us to maybe curb this issue that we have no control over, is to maybe create opportunities of our own, like through the internet. Yeah, man, I'm just like this space. Really, the concept behind it was inspired by the fact that I want to be of assistance as well, to play my role as a young person, you know. I want the youth to be off the streets and, you know, do things that they enjoy doing. So this is a space where people can truly come and show the world who they are and what they're made of. Like, and the only way you can do that is to express yourself and be free creatively. And yeah, this is a space for that. And I'm hopeful that, you know, people are going to eventually see the value behind social media and not just, you know, use these tools to, you know, destroy, but use these tools to build and have a better life while at it. Yeah, I've been yapping. But yeah, man, how did we get here? My battery on the big camera, it's flat, so I'm just gonna end it there for now. I think I spoke about a lot of things, but most importantly, I welcome you, man, on this journey, and I hope that when you join me, and you join by following me, you join by, you know, following my work and liking my stuff. And yeah, I hope like there's something that's going to, you know, inspire you as well on the other end. And yeah.